Well, it's another Mother's Day weekend, and for me, I'm going to be 62 years old this year, and this will be my fourth year without having my mom here for Mother's Day. And it's kind of a rough time because I think of my mom all the time, but I especially think of her um, during this season of the year because her birthday was just a little over a week ago, and then it's Mother's Day, and then it'll be Memorial Day in a few weeks after that. So all of those things really make me think about her more than I usually do. And you know, my mom was a feisty little person, and I love my mom dearly. Sometimes she was difficult, but I would have to say that the most difficult time in my life, um, and the hard, not difficult like physically, but just emotionally for me, was the last maybe 8 months of my mom's life because she was dealing with some, I believe it is, I'm not sure I'm saying this correctly, ischemic dementia. And she was diagnosed, and not really diagnosed. I don't want to say diagnosed, but she went to a facility and got checked out and had some cognitive decline back in 2018, and she just slowly went down from there. In 2017, I was a realtor at the time, and she wanted to move from the house that she had lived in for 40 years into a smaller house. And my stepdad had passed away a few years before, and she just didn't want to take care of that big house and swimming pool and everything. So she moved to a smaller house, and she just had a rough time ever since she moved there. She had a hard time remembering where things were, she couldn't find things, she was depressed, and just a lot of things. And I would say probably the last 2 years, uh, after she had COVID, and it got worse. And the last 2 years of her life, it was very challenging. I live 40 minutes away from where she lived, and I would make trips over there weekly, sometimes multiple times a week, sometimes multiple times a day. And um, it finally came down to her calling an ambulance for herself and going to the hospital multiple times when they didn't find anything wrong, that my sister and I had to make the decision to bring her and find an assisted living center near my house that was going to be better for her. But I thought it would make things somewhat easier once we got to the assisted living center, but at that point, she wasn't in memory care or anything like that, and the type of dementia she had, it was just so strange because people in there at the assisted living center would say, "Why is your mom in here? She seems just fine." Yeah, she was just fine until she wasn't. And she was doing things like calling me all night long and not making sense, and then to just didn't want to eat anymore because she said she was sick, and would go to the hospital and they wouldn't find anything wrong. And the story is so long and convoluted, and it was just really a difficult time for me. And my mom finally just decided she wasn't going to eat anymore, and that's what did her in. She just stopped eating. And we really didn't know what kind of dementia she had or what it was until a doctor in the hospital, just a week before she died, told us, what it was, and at her age and her frailty, she just couldn't rebound. And so, all of that to say, if you're caring for a parent that has dementia or Alzheimer's or anything like that, I feel for you because that was probably some of the last 8 months were probably the hardest 8 months of my life. Just physically for me, it was physical in some aspect because I was having to do stuff around the clock, it seemed. And even when she got to assisted living, I didn't just put her in there and not go see her. I put her in one near my house that was nice, and I was there every day checking on her just to see how things went. Occasionally I would give myself a break, but most of the time I went there every day. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people put their parents go in there and they just assume someone else is taking care of them. And I would just like to say, if I could give you one lesson from that, one lesson I learned is don't assume that the people at the assisted living center or wherever your loved one is at, don't assume that they are taking care of them, because they may not be. And if I had one piece of advice, it would be put cameras in your parents' apartment or room or whatever it is. Put cameras in there. I know you have to put signs on the door that say cameras are in use or whatever, but that's okay. Just put the cameras in there so you can see what's going on and know what's going on. I didn't do that until probably the last month my mom was there, and I saw some things that I wished I hadn't seen. I saw my mom trying to get on the bed when she went to the bathroom and she couldn't get on the bed and she fell on the floor. And that the next night, I stayed the night there with her. I stayed and slept on her couch because I didn't want her to get up and try to go to the bathroom and she would push the button for help and nobody would come. So get a camera, know what's going on, and God bless you if you're caring for an elder parent that's dealing with something like this. It's difficult, I know. So hopefully you have a mom that is still with you on this Mother's Day, and maybe you're a mom yourself. So happy Mother's Day to you. And it can be a rough day for those who don't have a mom or who didn't ever really have a mom the type that they wanted to have. So be mindful of that to people. And anyway, I just wanted to share that experience with you. I may talk about that more later on because I know a lot of people are dealing with caring for parents and things like that, especially when you get to my age. So anyway, yeah, that's it. Well, have a blessed day. I'm fixing to go for my walk, and that's my time to decompress and pray and think and get some sunshine. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.